What's up, fight fans? This is SquaredCircleProductions. Yeah, man, I'm going into my new rant, and this is basically going to be an addition to the last rant, which was Super Bowl 49 racial implications. Okay, as y'all know, the Super Bowl happened. It's been basically a week. This is a Friday morning, early Saturday morning I'm doing this. Okay, 1 week removed. In my last rant I talked about how the Seattle Seahawks represented the black people and how the Patriots represented America. And, I went in a little bit about just how I saw some similarities, and like a lot of the black people was pulling for the Seahawks to win. Black quarterback. You got two superstars on the team that's from Compton and Oakland, respectively. And just how it just had this little feel to it. And then I tied that in with the violence towards the black men in this country at the hands of the police over the last 2 years. And then I kind of just basically debunked it at the same time and said that it really didn't matter because at the end of the day, we still going through hell in this country. We still not where we need to be. We still getting treated wrong. And then I went in on us about why we need to quit worrying about stuff like that or using that as a, well, see, ha, 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 ha. Even if you're just a race type person and you just like to see your race do good, if you just one of these black people that like to see black people do well and you want to pull for us, to be where we need to be or where you feel we should be and things like that. And whenever we do some kind of accomplishment or whatever, you just a person that really like that. That's cool and everything, but at the end of the day, it's just a football game. We got bigger problems in our communities and stuff that we still haven't seemed to figure out. And it's simple stuff, in a sense, it's simple, it's basic stuff, for other races, but we still struggling at this game. And we got to figure out, man, how to, get a hold of that. So, I kind of went in on about the whole world star culture and the sagging and all this negative stuff that we portray out here in social media that the whole world has an opportunity to see and makes snap judgments based on those type of things and how that's not really necessarily the best light. Okay, so I watched the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna be honest with you. I was doing other things for most of the game. And when I finally got a chance to really, settle down and watch the game, it was about 6 minutes left. And Seattle had come back, and then New England got the ball, and they marched down and scored a touchdown and went ahead. Then I watched the last little events happen, with the miracle catch, and then how the last few plays unfolded and led to that interception, on that play. And it was a tough call, but like I said, though, I remember I said about the similarities. Well, then, man, at the end, when dude intercepted the ball and Seattle is clear they're probably not going to win the game at this point, and they line up on defense, they still have one last shot because they're lined up in the end zone, so they still they can't take a knee because then they'll take a safety. So there's still a slight chance, because they can take a knee. If they take a knee, they'll get a safety. If they tackle them in behind the line of scrimmage, then that will cause it to be a safety. That's 2 points. They get the possession, possibly have a chance to run a play, and maybe kick a field goal, and win by 1 point. Just a 5-point swing in a matter of 20 seconds. But, it's a miracle. They need a miracle. And it pretty much looks like all hope is lost. And then they line up, and they line up and try to, scare them, try to get them to jump off sides, and they end up jumping off sides themselves. And then when it was clear that New England, there's no way they can lose now, and it's the waning seconds of the game, there's some trash talk on the field, and they start fighting, and that's the stuff that I was hoping would not have happened, is that they ended up started fighting. And again, if the Seattle Seahawks represent the black people, then once again, black people, we made ourselves look stupid. That was the worst fight I've ever seen in any Super Bowl, ever. The worst. That was basically a world star moment at the Super Bowl. I mean, it was just that bad, you know. Now, as far as fights, period, there's been way worse fights in sports, period. But we talking about on the biggest stage, the championship game. This is it for the football season. You know, the Super Bowl, that's like the big event. So the biggest, most high-profile game, that was the worst fight I've ever seen. You know, you have a little bit of shoving and things like that. That happens. But, man, at the end, man, it would have been better for y'all just to conduct yourselves as former champions and just, I mean, you lose. You know what I'm saying? Lose with some pride, some dignity, and not start a bunch of big fighting and stuff. Now, I understand that there was some stuff that was probably said out there in the heat of the moment and they snapped. You know, because this was just deeper than just a game. There was a lot of stuff on the line. Even from a spiritual standpoint, it was a lot of like opposites. Who's going to prevail? You know, there was a lot of that going on. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, such, because they're competitive people and they're playing a violent, rough sport. And they want to win. And they was that close to winning. And, to have it 1 minute you look like you about to win and then it gets snatched away from you on one play that you wish you could probably have back. But at the end of the day, man, conduct yourselves as class and as champions. See what I'm saying? So when one of our people get killed, tying it back into the last rant, we go riot and tear up the neighborhood. That type of stuff, man, we got to cut that stuff out. Where has that gotten us? It's just more niggerish behavior on top of, what people already think of us. We got to learn how to be smart, man, organized, and come together and figure out how to hit people where it really hurts to where they respect us as a thing. Do you think the Asian community gets slighted the way the black community gets slighted and it just goes unchecked? Heck no. Then people will organize and boycott that stuff, and within a week, man, they'll feel the heat from that. Oh, they'll come out and publicly apologize to all Asian people, hire somebody Asian and make them a thing, and we'll reach out to your community and do whatever it takes. Do you think black people get treated like that? No. Because at the end of the day, we need them more than they really need us. And the way we carry ourselves a lot of times, they really don't like us around anyway. So, again, man, we got to carry ourselves with more class and more dignity and start having some kind of, some sense of honor. Something where we can carry ourselves a little bit better, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, the world is watching us, man, and we're not showing them good stuff, man. And it's just time for that to change. So, basically, I just want to say, hey, man, that wasn't a good look for the Seahawks, man, with that. Now, the NFL did get it right, and Gronkowski got fined as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure he said something slick, which was still just as classless. But nobody really saw what he said or heard what he said. Everybody saw y'all just start shoving and pushing it and escalating it like, well, we going to win the fight. We lost the game, but we going to win the fight, man. Come on, man. We gotta cut that stuff out. So that's all I want to say on that one, man. Peace, one love.